Rubber ducky, Gen 4.
Winds, and of course there were really popular, beautiful melodies, and we have strings, there were winds, and of course there were really typed in it to get a band to play. Yeah, beautiful, mate. Thanks for that. Stuff, and at the end of the harmonic opera song, song that kind of really goes ballistic in a way, because how who can make it even crazier. And I thought, well, maybe Richard Hemsworth could add some thought to that. So he really did. He really, really did. So. I love it when the plan works out. It's good. Nice. All right, Anton, well, thanks for your time, mate. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. The album Down the Mountainside is out this Friday, April 19th, and what I've heard of it's a bloody good album, mate. So congratulations. Well, yeah, so my name is Anton. I'm going to start over to me and we'll start chatting. When it comes to fire, I think we always trust that. congratulations and best of luck. Yeah, well, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Hey Chris,
James, how are you, buddy?
I'm very good, thanks. How are you?
Good. How's your night going so far?
It's all good so far. Sorry, the last interview just overran by a
That's
couple
all
of
right, mate.
minutes.
I know what it's like. Once you get talking to people, sometimes it's hard to sort of break that connection, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Just the middle of my interviews for tonight. I got one more after you, and then I get to rest up.
Nice. Well, I'm just getting the day started here. This is my
Oh
this is
yeah,
my
what's that you
morning.
got in the background there? Sepultura poster.
Yeah, from the Quadra tour.
How
Yeah,
good was that album?
yeah, it's great. It's fantastic.
Yes.
Sad to see them calling it a day, but I guess.
Call it a day. When did that happen?
Yeah, they're doing their farewell tour.
Wow.
I think. Well, they're around the world. Yeah, they're on their final ever tour, apparently.
Oh, wow. I'll look that up, but I'll see if I've got anything about it because I don't remember that coming across the desk.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, I think they're doing the UK at the end of this year. I'm sure they must be coming to Australia at some point. But yeah, make sure to go out and check captions. It will potentially be the last time.
Oh, bummer. All right, bro. Well, this interview is for the Heavy Podcast as well as Heavy Radio. So we'll start off, just get you to introduce yourself, introduce the band, give the tour a bit of a plug, and then throw it over to me and we'll start chatting.
Cool. Hi, this is James from the band TesseracT on Heavy Radio and the Heavy Podcast. And we will be coming over to Australia at the beginning of May on our World of Being tour. Make sure to check us out.
Beautiful, James. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So TesseracT returned to Australia after a 6-year absence for the War of Being tour, starting in Brisbane on May the 2nd and going through Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide before finishing in Perth on May the 9th. Like, it's not far away now, bro. Are you the sort of person, are you packed and ready to go with your bag sitting by the door, or do you leave it to the last minute?
I haven't thought about packing. We leave on we're coming via India and we leave on Tuesday next week, so I'll probably pack Tuesday morning.
Wow. Via India, you say? Have you got gigs in India?
Yeah, we've got 3 shows in India on the way to Australia, which breaks up the journey.
Wow, I didn't know India had a metal scene over there. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, we're doing 3 shows there. We're doing Bangalore, Mumbai, and Delhi, and yeah, they've got a pretty healthy scene growing there. It's really cool.
Yeah, wicked. So 6 years since you've been here last time, bro. Like, it's a long time. So what's changed with TesseracT since you were here last to this time?
Well, I suppose I mean a lot of time has passed. We've been able to work on and release an album that everyone is more happy with than we have with any record before. We've also really kind of tried to up our live game and not only just focus on playing our instruments, which I guess was a big focus for the band for much of this, to make it a bit more of a show, a bit more of a performance, add some theatrical elements. We're basically just trying to be in the last 6 years, really tried to up our game into being an exciting rock band rather than just a bunch of guys nerding out.
It's actually the perfect segue into my next question, mate. Like the press release makes reference to your mind-blowing live show. So can you elaborate on that a bit for us?
Oh, that's very kind of the press release. Thank you, Chris. uh, um, yeah, I think well, on the World of Being tour at the moment, we've got like we're playing a good chunk of the new album because well, we're really happy with it and we want to play as much as possible. We're throwing in some of like the fan favorites, Brothers, and we're trying to make it just like a bit of a journey from start to finish. So there's lots of changes in atmosphere. We worked a lot with the lighting production to really, make it as much of a visual experience as it is an audio experience. And it's been going okay so far.
It goes so far, so good. So, and anyone that knows anything about TesseracT and your back catalogue, mate, like your music's very diverse and it's technical as fuck. So, does it make it difficult coming up with a set list that's sort of cohesive and flows with so much going on?
That's a good question. I think quite often the big thing is working out which tracks could link to others, because generally we don't have any gaps. It's kind of once the show starts, there's always something going on. So whether it's songs linking from one to the other, or whether there's like an atmospheric pause where something visual will happen on stage. So I think that's the hardest part, working out which tracks will work together and how. It's like putting together a jigsaw in a way. But yeah, we're quite happy with what we've got on this tour coming up. So I think everyone should come and watch.
Very good. I do too. So along those lines, bro, like you mentioned before that you try to make your show more exciting, but the style of music you guys play, it's not easy to do. Like, so you'd have to pretty much concentrate on what you're doing playing wise. So it's sort of, it'd be hard to get that balance between being exciting and not striking a bum note, I guess.
Yeah, I think, I guess we're not sort of like a Dillinger Escape Plan and leaping off things and like smashing stuff up. But I think it's just like more just in terms of I guess more subtle things. Like in terms of where we position ourselves on stage, where we've got sort of various rises now where we can just I don't know, just appear a little differently throughout the set. Also, I think with lots of the older songs, we've been playing them forever, so they're complete muscle memory. So as long as we don't sort of massively jar ourselves to dropping the guitar or whatever, we can generally get away with them. And with the newer stuff, I think at the beginning of the tour when we were in the US, a lot of that was really trying to get that down. So I suppose we hadn't quite got that performance ready. It took us a tour to really get comfortable with it. But now we've done the whole of Europe, we're very comfortable with the set, and so we can really focus on trying to make it more entertaining rather than just, am I playing the right note?
Have you actually got any songs or written any songs that you've found too hard to replicate live?
There are a couple which we have tried. One of them is the song Eden from the first album. We tried playing that live a few times, and it's I guess we just struggled to kind of feel it and get it feeling right. So we kind of shelved it. I've been campaigning to bring it back, but not all the other guys. Another one is Singularity off the second album. We did play that on the Dream Theater tour. Anyway, because we went out with Dream Theater, so we're like, let's play the hardest song we can.
Yeah, of course, show them up.
And to be fair, we could play it, but it's really hard work. And it's one of those songs. It's a long song where it's just like there's just no letting up. It's just like you got to play to the top of your ability for a good 8 minutes, and that's quite tiring. Sometimes you need a rest.
Well, we are getting older, mate. Now, as the name of the tour suggests, you're promoting your new album, War of Being, which comes out on September 15th. So tell us a bit more about that album musically. Is it what fans would expect?
I think it's like with every TesseracT record, we try to make it an evolution from the last and bring in new elements and ultimately make it interesting for ourselves. And that's first and foremost important. We need to be enjoying it for us to even think it's worthy of playing to anyone else. And I think we had a good 5-year gap between records, and it really allowed us to really make the record we wanted to hear, I think. and it's there's a little sort of nod back to like the older progressive, like long songs, like the title track War of Beings, like sort of an 11-minute kind of piece of work, which is something I feel like we've missed from the last few records. It's really nice to do that again. And yeah, I think I know it's I think everyone put their absolute most into this one. I feel like it's the best record that Tesseract's ever made. But then I would say that I'm in the back.
Of course you would. I'm going to read another piece to you from the press release, so we'll see if Chris is throwing you under the bus this time, mate. It describes it as the new album as having the aggressive intensity of One, the intricate song structure of Altered State, the songwriting prowess of Polaris, and the mind-boggling technicality of Sonder. Would you agree with that statement?
Oh, well, that's very nice of them. Yeah, I guess so. I think there are. I mean, we've definitely tried to make the heavier bits heavier, which is a nod back to the first album. Yeah, things like I mean, Altered State was essentially like 4 long pieces of music. So I suppose the track that I was talking about earlier was a nod back to that. And yeah, I think it's fair to say that.
Well, that would make it the best album you put out then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I reckon so.
And it's also got a great concept to the album, mate, which sounds fascinating. And I don't think I'd do it justice if I tried to repeat it, mate. So tell us a bit more about the concept.
Right. Well, it's basically I'm not the expert on this. This is definitely this world, but it's basically a story about 2 characters called X and L, and it's a lot of it is it's a war of beings, about war within yourself and inner conflicts and resolving them. And it's basically a big sci-fi story involving spaceships and characters telling this story about internal conflict. And that's the best I'm going to give you.
That'll do, mate. You've got me intrigued already. We'll leave people with a little bit to digest.
Yeah.
Now, you've released the title track as the lead single, mate. So why choose that particular song to introduce people to the new music?
I think partly, I mean, for me, it's my favorite track on the record. But also it's the first new music we would have released in over 5 years. So we thought we'd give everyone a really big chunk of music. And so it's like, it's an 11-minute. So it's like, Tesseract's back, here you go. Have a massive, long, progressive song.
Yeah.
And the video, a lot of effort work was put into the video to make it a real spectacle. And so, yeah, it was just a real statement of intent. It's like, here we are, we're back. Here's something epic.
Very cool. And speaking of the music video, mate, like it sort of centers around 2 feuding samurai. But what I want to know was it any of you guys in the band inside those samurai suits, or did you have hired guns?
Sadly not, no. No, it was actually done with. There were 2 sort of 2 martial arts experts they were actually filmed and like mapped on by computers, which was then turned into the CGI. So there were actually real people modelled.
Wow.
But yeah, it wasn't us. It was people that knew what they were doing.
I was going to say you would have got to take out a lot of pent up frustration on each other from over the years if you were.
Changes.
And speaking of computer generated, mate, like the cover art's been AI generated, which is it's only a new thing that people are getting into these days. So tell us a bit about that.
I mean, it's quite a hot topic at the moment, we've always been very transparent with our approach to AI. Basically, Amos had like a wild, crazy concept, and he did actually start trying to talk to try to find artists and try and bring it to life. But is struggling enough to find artists that were completely getting his ideas, and then some that did wanted to charge more than it cost to make the entire album and video altogether to do it. And so that's why he went down the AI route with it, which I know is slightly controversial at the moment. But I guess our justification for doing it was to basically convey the art that Amos had in his head. He found a way to do it with online, with AI as a tool, and I think it worked brilliantly. And there'd been no way we could have done it without AI. And yeah, it's an interesting debate because like so many other bands are getting loads of shit for using AI, and nobody's actually given us shit yet. We're waiting for
Maybe
somebody
not
to
many
pick up.
people. Maybe not many people know yet. They'll listen to this, and I'm the one throwing you under the bus, not Chris.
That's right. We're ready for that debate because personally, I think it's a difficult one. Lots of people say it's taking work away from artists, but I don't know. I see it more as it's a tool. Because like AI doesn't make the art. It's basically you tell it what to make from various inspirations, and that's what an artist does anyway. It's basically, I don't know, it's like, yeah. Would you say Photoshop was taking work away from painters, or would you say, I know the camera was an invention that took jobs away from,
Yeah. I
art.
think at the end of the day, it's like whatever gives the best result for the person using it. In this case, it's you guys. That's the way. It's a no-brainer. You'd go with that. Like, are you going to take something that's inferior just to keep people happy? At the end of the day, it's
Yeah, I think the key thing is I think for me, art is a human thing, and like it's the idea and the concept and the message and that kind of thing, and like the creation of it is a skill. It's not the art. Like, for example, like playing guitar, it's like playing a scale as a skill, but playing a solo like Richie Blackmore is an art. It's kind of like there's. I think that's the distinction, and to me, AI basically it's a tool which replaces a skill. It's not art itself.
yeah.
Anyway,
Oh.
we could go down a rabbit hole with that one.
We could, so we'll leave it on that note there, brother. But there are two really good things happening with Tesseract soon. The first being the tour of Australia, starting in Brisbane on May the 2nd, and the second being the album War of Being, which is out September 15th. And I dare say you're going to have a few more singles to release before then.
We don't know actually. I mean, there'll probably be like another video or so from the album, but I think our focus now, once we've got this run done, is getting on with some new music. So we're hoping for some new music. I say in the not too distant future, but for us that could mean anything up to 5 years. So,
So people can just be patient and take it as it comes.
yeah, well, I'm hoping it'll be sooner than that, but I don't want to promise anything, obviously.
No worries. All right, James. Well, thanks for your time, bro. I'll be at the Brisbane show, so the first one of the date. So I'll give you a hoy from the audience.
Yeah, we'll grab a beer.
Sounds good to me, mate. I'm thirsty already. All right, bro. Talk soon.
Bye.